That's why I went out of town. Because I was depressed and thinking crazy thoughts in my head. We basically only met at school, and we would hang out. Her name was June Detweiler. Faster than my mouth. I think about scenarios 3 times before my mouth, and I do it so fast like a computer. Boom, 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 boom. I still do. We was just wrestling for the gun. If I would have been white, I wouldn't have got a day.
Right, because it would have been self-defense.
Right.
Gotcha.
And then this was my second murder conviction.
Okay.
I had a manslaughter conviction prior to that, right?
Wait.
Got this nice girl for you. You can hook up, get your rocks out the sand. Okay. So I talked to her on the phone, and we agreed I could come by and get my rocks out the sand. Fine.
Right.
So
one I love, two she loves, three she's true to me.
What your feelings were when you did call your mother again inside, because you said she already knew you were going there. So I guess I'm a little confused. Okay, so let me ask you this.
I had told her I was going there.
Okay, so I'm glad you said that. So if you told her you were going there, I guess.
Here's what led up to that. The police had went by my mother's house and tore the house up, and my brother Stuart was there at the time, and Stuart was telling him, he ain't here, what you looking for, right? We're looking for guns. So they searched the house and didn't find any guns. So they asked my brother Stuart his name. He told him his name. So the police put his hand on his gun and said, you tell him when you see him, when I see him, I'm gonna kill him.
Right.
In front of my mother.
Mm-hmm.
That upset her. So by her way of thinking, the only way for me to get out is if I turn myself in. But I heard what she had to say, and I said, okay. But I didn't turn myself in right away.
Gotcha.
I called him, police down at the station, Rousey. I said, this Detective Rousey? He says, yeah. I said, this is Ralph Wilkins. Heard you want to see me. Yeah. So I heard you went by my mama's house and you threatened my brother and you threatened my life. He said, well, that wasn't me. I said, well, I don't give a fuck. Y'all was together. Tell you what. I said, up the street from my mama's house is a place called Reynolds Store by J Street. I'm gonna be in front of Reynolds Store at 4 o'clock. Come and get me if you want me. At that point in my life, at that moment, I didn't care if I live or died. As long as I could killing people who disrespected my mother in her house and threatened my brother, I didn't like that my family was gonna have to pay for something that I was accused of, something my shit. But they never showed up. See that the Reynolds Store, the only way you can see in front of Reynolds Store is if you park somewhere right there where I can see you.
Right.
It's positioned in such a way where it's round the corner, there's over the hill, then there's 3 flat streets, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's on 59th Avenue. I waited until 5. It didn't show. So I called my mother and said, look, I think I'm gonna go down to the police precinct to turn myself in. So I left there and went over to Southeast, and I knew I was gonna be in jail. I had a girl over there. I went over and got me some pussy,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and supposed to hold me, uh, and
So
then I
you knew
fucked.
that they were going to you knew once you got there and turned yourself in, you probably was going to be there. Your mom wasn't going to bail you out or anything.
Right, because it was a murder charge. You know, black people don't get bails in Maryland for
So
murder.
that's what I'm trying to figure out. That's what stood out to me because you 1967 you already dealt with the system. Okay. So you already got one strike against you. Then you go and turn yourself in, and your mother already knows that you're going to turn yourself in. Why did you call her and explain to her what happened if she already knew?
I don't know. I called, but I called her and told her that I'm there. That's where I'm at. Well, she was gonna be worried that if I go ripping and running, that they would sneak up on me and kill me later. Because PG
No, you
County had
called
a.
her before. Before you told her you were going, and before you said they never
Well,
showed up, and you
I
were
was
going to go turn yourself in.
but I was
You
just letting her know I turn myself in. I was, I didn't want her to worry about them catching me the next day or the day after. Say I changed my mind and don't go.
Okay? So when you called her when you actually got there, you let her know, hey, I'm here. I turned myself in, and that was it. That was the extent of your conversation.
That and the fact that a guy named Paul Hunter went around and told my mama that Sonny Swan had killed that guy.
Okay, you
Um,
needed. She told you that, or you told her?
no, she told me.
Oh, she was telling you that.
She
Okay,
told
gotcha.
She said, Sonny, Paul Hunt say, Sonny killed, shot that man. Paul Hunt was a drunk asshole, undercover faggot. You know, Um, he didn't know nothing. He wasn't. If he was up there that night, he was hiding somewhere. I didn't.
Gotcha. So she was just trying to help, basically, telling you what the streets were saying.
Yeah, well, we was on the speakerphone, right? I mean, we was
Mhm.
on the intercom phone at the police station, right? So,
Mhm.
um, and she knew that because the police, when I called, he was sitting right there. Because and I knew I was in for a battle. I figured I'd do about 8 or 10 years. I didn't figure that they would nail me to the cross like they did.
So do you think that's why you called?
Yeah, I had a sinking feeling. And my first thought was to just go on the run and stay on the run. But I would have been dead. I did because I wasn't going to go nowhere but to Philly and hang out with my cousin Biggie. And he was a Marine, fresh back from Vietnam, and a drug addict. I had hung out with him for a while before, and all we doing is robbing people, beating them up, taking their money, and robbing stores and shit, banks and shit like that. I took a lot of money while I was on the run that little couple of months, but I was giving money away and doing dumb shit.
Were you
Biggie and
scared?
I ain't never been scared of nothing because I always figured if I can't fight my way out, I just leave it alone and let it go away. But if it got in my face, I would fight, and I always fight to the death. And once I came out of
Well, you
once
can't fight a feeling. I'm asking you your feelings. Were you scared? Not as in.
I don't have no feelings. I don't have no feelings of fear. I, you
Okay.
know, in 1970, after this guy got killed, I didn't get arrested until February. February 14th.
Mm-hmm.
Between December 14th and February 14th, I went to New York. While I was up there, I converted to Islam. And one of the reasons why I converted to Islam is because it said Muslims have no fear of anything but God. That felt like that was my wheelhouse. I said, well, okay, I can believe that. I'll go with that. And
Okay.
these brothers carried themselves like they had no fear.
Okay.
And they taught me enough about being Muslim to satisfy my mind. My mind was settled and I was cool. I was way cool. I was laid back. And when I hit the penitentiary, I was ready because I had started learning Arabic and I had faith. I had me a faith in God, which I had never had before.
Okay.
And my life had changed on the level of being a gangster to I was gravitating toward being Muslim, trying to be the best Muslim I can be. And it was just the way there were a lot of tough guys in the penitentiary when I got there in 1972. A lot of real mean tough guys.
Mm-hmm.
But I was praying 5 times a day, minding my business. And every time I got out of line, I attacked him with a vengeance,
Mm-hmm.
like a crazy man. Because in my mind, I knew I had to build a reputation to make them leave me alone. See, once I became Muslim and once I went to jail, to prison, everything that's happened to me initially, the foundation of it was a calculated move. And what happened after the foundation of it got set, like the foundation, when I went to Patuxent, it was a calculated move for me to get to Patuxent. That was a plan,
Okay.
very structured plan, where I
Mm-hmm.
stayed away from everybody, I mind my business, I educated myself, but I didn't do anything on papers so that would mess up my going to Patuxent because Nick Bagley had said these just the criteria, and he worked with the psychiatrist, Dr. Calkins, at the penitentiary, and he told me everything I needed to do to get in Patuxent and how to get in and how to get out.
Okay.
And I just had to structure a plan around his plan. I believed what he said. See, if you have a plan, you don't believe it, it's not a plan. It's haphazard.
Okay. Okay.
But if you have a plan and you believe that plan, you believe it's going to work. You believe it. Like this book venture.
Right.
If I believe it's going to work, then I put everything in it that's got to be put in it to make it work.
Correct.
Right? Y'all call that faith. Muslims call it iman.
What do you mean? What do you mean, y'all? Who is y'all? People?
Yeah. Christians, Jews, and everybody, they have faith. Muslims, they have faith. But I call it iman.
Okay.
I use the Arabic word, iman.
Okay.
Faith can move mountains, really, literally.
Literally.
I mean, but it's not like you're going to pray and it moves. I pray that I went that mountain. Well, I got a mountain, a dirt hill out front. And I'm praying that it moves. I want it moved. Well, I can make it happen if I work at it. If I work at it, somebody come by with a machine, scoop it up and move it out of the way.
Right.
The mountain got moved by my faith. Faith without work is bullshit. You know.
Okay. I agree. Kind of, sort of, in a non-cussing way.
Well, I would have said faith without work is something else, but literally it's bullshit.
Right.
It's just words. Man can fix his mouth to say anything.
I can agree.
Question is, is he wise enough to fix his mouth to either say nothing or tell the truth?
Right.
Right. That's why I call myself truth teller, because
Mm-hmm.
only fear I have is of God. You know, men lie because they fear something,
Mm-hmm.
reprisal or violence or financial failure or something. I don't lie because I don't care. I don't care what nobody think. I don't give a fuck what they think. You know, this guy's right here in Fremont that, like my buddy, the car dealer down in Goldsboro, he double crossed me out of $1,595. On the old me would have went down there and it would have been something up, right?
Right.
But I consciously walked away,
Right.
consciously stay away. If he pull up in the yard and want to talk shit, all bets is off. That's a whole different ballgame. And I'm gonna do everything I can to dispatch him. Either him run him up the road, hurt him and put him in an ambulance, or kill him.
Let me
That's
ask you
great.
a question.
One I love, two she loves, three she's true to me.
Last question. I know we're getting close to time. We started off and you said that your father was someone you looked up to, and you have four other brothers.
Yeah,
Okay, so that means it was five boys. What
yeah.
did your father teach you compared to them? Taught all of y'all as a collective? Taught them over you? Taught you? Didn't teach them? Give me some details on what was taught to you as guys, as sons.
Actually, my father died in 1969.
Okay.
I was I was 19. My brother Dede was 4 years younger than me, and I had been away in prison, so I don't know what he taught them. I don't know
Okay.
he taught anything. Dede,
Okay.
right? The girls, he was like a doting father. He loved them so much. He just give them whatever they want, right? So he didn't tell them much.
Okay.
He left that to my mother. Um, my brother Stuart and Maurice, I don't know what he told Maurice. Maurice never discusses anything that went down between him and my father. Stuart's passed away now,
Okay.
for what he told him. But I do know that my father took my oldest brother, Clyde, under his wing and taught him everything. And right now, my oldest brother, if I need anything, conversation, information, money, anything, if I go to him and ask, give it to him. He'll sit down and talk to me. He'll give me time like he's my father, right? He's like a father substitute. And I accept him as that because him and my father was close. My father taught him a lot, and he's extremely successful in life
Okay.
because of what my father taught him. So I don't argue with nothing that he says. He said, if he come down here and say, do this to the other, okay, I got you. I don't
Okay.
question it. I just go do it because he's a righteous man, good dude. He's a truthful person. He's moral. He's honorable. He all of that. And he's the best Christian I ever met. He's a man. He's a hell of a Christian too. Loves Jesus.
How,
Loves him. Jesus.
me too.
You
How much older is he of you? Like to you?
know? I'll be 71 in October. I think Clyde is. We were spaced out 2 years apart. So when I was 70, my brother Maurice was 72.
Okay.
Ford would have been 74. Clyde would have been 76. So he just turned 77 years old.
Okay. Okay.
I have a picture of him right here. This is my kitchen table. I'm gonna show you. I keep pictures of everybody. I don't have one of my sisters. I have one, but I got to get it blown up. But you see that?
Okay.
That's my brothers.
I'll bring it down a little bit. Okay, I see 4,
Yeah,
3.
that's up.
Okay.
This is my mother and father.
Come down some a little bit. Okay.
And this is my brother Clyde.
Okay.
I keep them pictures at my kitchen table because when I eat and when I meditate and when I'm thinking and I'm feeling like I might need to rethink something, I come and I sit and I look at these pictures and I contemplate and I think of how to deal with this situation, or how not to deal with a situation. So that's how that's how I'm close to my family, emotionally and mentally and spiritually, but not physically,
Okay.
because my bad boy image, my tough guy image, my gangster image sometimes overshadows the reality that I'm not that guy anymore, right?
Right.
I'm not that man anymore. I'm not him.
Do you think you ever was that man, or do you think that you just put on a facade to survive?
I don't know. It's a little bit of both because um, when my survival is paramount, and as far as I'm concerned, I've only done the things that I had to do.
Let me say this. Do you believe, because from everything that we've talked about, you said that you were introduced to the Muslim faith, and from that point on, you felt like you were content, you were good to go. You had never been introduced to um, that type of faith before, so you felt complete. If you would have been introduced to the Muslim faith instead of introduced to boxing, like many people are introduced to gangs and things of that nature, looking for a completeness, do you think your life would have went a different course
Actually, when I
at that
was
young age?
yeah,
Instead of going to like the boxing, someone would have took you to a mosque.
well, actually, when I was 12 or 13, I used to sell Muhammad Feast papers,
Okay.
and they was the Nation of Islam, not Orthodox Islam, two separate
Okay.
things.
Okay.
And the guy lived one door up from me, the guy, Mr. Fagan, who from the Nation, right?
Hmm.
I was introduced to Islam then,
Okay.
but I never got into it because my mama, she was a strict Christian lady. She didn't, no, she wasn't having it, you know, and
But she kept you in church. Okay, so maybe I'm missing something. Were you when you said she was a strict Christian lady, did you get introduced to Jesus Christ at that time?
well,
Or were
she
you
didn't.
just going to church?
Well, in those days, believe it or not, church they didn't believe in Jesus Christ then like they do now. That's the
Okay.
religion, the Christian religion's changed. It's completely morphed from what it was to what it is.
Okay.
Um, um, only thing I found in church was a bunch of old ladies trying to have sex and a bunch of sissies trying to have sex. Um,
Oh, okay.
so my mama, she figured that out, and she wasn't a church lady, but she had a Bible and she had a white boy Jesus on the wall with a cross. Um, and she had a rock solid faith.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my father, he wasn't like that. He didn't have that.
Okay.
Uh, he felt like I felt about white boys, white men, right? So Jesus fit in the category of white men
Mm-hmm.
because it was forced on everybody that he was white. My father come up in Virginia hard,
Mm-hmm.
fight, dealing with white people and racism down there. He wasn't having that. Him and none of his contemporaries. Um, uh,
Did he have any faith in
um,
anything?
he believed in God. I know that. Uh, but as far as him being a Christian, I don't know if he was anything. He kept a Catholic thing on his dash in his cab, and I don't
Okay.
know if that. I don't know what. I don't. I never got to talk to him about his thinking about any of that.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know. I don't want to misquote it, right? Because
But he never taught you, as far as like your mom, she was more
my mom
outward.
used to send us to church, and I used to stop at the store and spend my collection plate money on candy and sit in church and eat candy. You know,
Mm-hmm.
but I would sit farthest away from my mama so she couldn't smack me in my mouth. You know, but to I don't remember my father ever going to church with us because he was busy making babies and buying that house, and he just um he worked 3 jobs, right?
Right.
7 days a week. Uh, he actually worked himself into an early grave.
But he had good work ethic.
Excellent work ethic. I had good work ethic too. My first real job, was my neighbor next door neighbor, Mr. Shelton. I used to mix concrete by hand when I was
Oh
9 years
wow.
old. My father, we had a wood stove at the house, and I used to have to cut wood. I cut a big pile of wood. You know, it fell on me to cut the wood, to carry the coal, and all that shit. Right? I was the pack mule, I guess. I don't know. Because I stuttered, nobody gave a thought to how intelligent I might be.
Right.
Because he used to tell me, I would try to say something, I'd read it, and I'd stutter real bad. He would say, he would make me feel bad about it. Next time you say something, know what you're talking about. And the fact that I couldn't read it didn't mean I didn't know what I was talking about. It meant
Right.
I couldn't say it. But I took a lot of shit off him. He's the only man ever beat me, and I just didn't fight back.
And this was who again?
My father.
Okay.
Because I used to fuck up and he would beat me with whatever he could get his hands on. He was a savage.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't take no crap, nothing, not an iota, not a mustard seed worth of crap. No, he was a good man though.
Well, this is our time. And is there anything that you would like to say? We could always do a part two. But those are all of my questions for now.
Because there's a lot of stuff that you didn't ask, that didn't come into it. Um, like you ain't asked me when the first time I had sex.
I did not ask you that. So that means that we'll do a part two with more in-depth questions on your
Well, I only did it
personal
once.
life.
Because I got molested. So
Okay.
um, not by a dude, but by a woman.
I do. Don't get me wrong. I do want to go deeper because outside of the whole reason of why I'm doing this, and that is based on the fact that you serve time. That's a given. But I just don't want to interview people because they serve time. I want the benefit behind it. So it's bigger than that. It's basically, why did you serve time? Not because you committed a crime in my mindset. You serve time for different reasons that never even happened on the day that the crime was committed. You understand what I'm saying? So
It's about attitude and
it's
reaction.
about, yeah, it's, to me, it's definitely about just who's in front of me and your actual makeup as a person. So we'll definitely do a part two, but the questions that I asked today was generally just for me to get a snippet and for me to understand the legality of everything, because if I don't understand that, then I'm going to be wrecking my brain trying to figure out, okay, well, this says this and he says this. I want to be able to put that to the side, because everyone that reads it is going to want to know those answers um, before anything else. Then
How
they'll
much,
be open.
how much of my trial transcript do you have there?
Enough, enough, enough to keep me up at night. But what I'll say is we will schedule another appointment, because I do want to go deeper, way deeper in your whole childhood. It's mighty funny. When I was asked once before, probably about 2 weeks ago, someone asked me about my childhood, and I said I had a really pretty good childhood. And I really believe that the same thing that you said. But there's a lot of things that happen in childhood. We automatically think about mother and father, and that has nothing to even do with childhood, that allows us to be the people that we are in some instances. Some of them do, but and a lot of them it's not. It could be something that happened at school, not going to school, poverty, whatever. So we'll go deeper in that. But thank you so much, and I will go ahead and cut it off here.
One I love, two she loves, three she's true to me.
And I enjoyed the company of the baby, but she took all that out on her. And now the girl blames me for what her mama did. You know, because I remember when I was young, the young black, the little dark skinned kids would pull my hair, yank,
Okay.
yank, 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 or hit me in the mouth, pop, or um, I'd be in line for water and they'd step in front of me and take my place in the water line. I'm being hustled and taken advantage of, which is what I did in Atlanta. I was hustling, taking advantage of people. Same
Right.
thing, same thing.
And could you just tell little Ralph something? If you could go back in time, what would you tell little Ralph?